Hello and welcome back to episode 7 of our Starforged plus Star Wars actual play here on Three Skulls Tavern. I'm joined as always by Sophia from Ironhome. Hey Sophia.
Hello.
And to jump straight back into it, we're continuing where we left off in the last session, which is with the two of us having stolen a transport speeder from a Wookiee. And this Wookiee did, see us in the process of doing it, and we managed to take him out. So that's where we're starting off.
We are going to return the speeder, we promise.
Yeah. Is that what we whispered into him just before we took off? Leave a little note on the pavement next to him.
I feel terrible.
So we've got the speeder, we're turning it around, we're heading straight into the war zone now. So let's open up our foundry. So the way we're going to handle this, as we discussed at the end of the last session, is to do this as an expedition, because it is effectively a journey from one point to another into a hazardous area. And we decided to set the difficulty, the rank of this as troublesome, mainly because we want to try and get through this and get to the meat of this quest, which is where we're at the end. But it's still troublesome. There's still possibility for things to go pear-shaped here. And as a result, we've also set a trouble counter, a clock, so that as we're trying to fulfill this expedition, there's a possibility that the gang takes notice of us coming in, and they might mistake us as, either side could mistake us as being with the other side. So it's quite a dangerous thing to be doing, really. So let's get started here with, we've done the we've pulled up the Undertaken Expedition move in the last session, but we haven't actually rolled anything on it yet. And I think for the moment, I think it's going to be starting in my head the same way that we started the last one, which is, no, not the same way. We're not staying vigilant here. We are moving at speed. We're trying as quickly as possible to get to Mingos, right? That's how I see it in my head anyway. How do you feel about that, Sophia? Same?
Oh, 100% speed. We are trying to avoid
and
most of the danger here.
Shall I roll? I imagine I'm the one driving because I hotwired it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So I roll edge here, and there's no bonuses or anything, so straight up edge roll. Oh, look at that. I got a 6 on the dice, but even with a +2 to make it 8, there was a 10 rolled, so it's a weak hit. And on a weak hit, what we do is we reach a waypoint, we mark progress, so we can go ahead and do that, and we have to choose one. We either suffer costs en route, we make a suffer move, or 2 suffer moves, or we face a peril at the waypoint. I like that one.
I definitely like the peril at the waypoint.
Yeah, so let's do that. I think the obvious thing here is that there's a pitched battle going on at a junction, and we have to get through it. So there's two sides kind of firing blasters at each other. Yeah, go on.
What I imagine is there's like a little bit of a blockade, so to speak, in the way. Some crates have been piled up. It's probably the Reapers shooting at the snakes on the other side, and we gotta get past this little blockade that they've set up. And so what I imagine we're gonna do is Alera's gonna, we're kind of we're going full speed, right? And I imagine the dialogue between Drago and Alera, and Drago's like, oh, there's a blockade up ahead. What do we do? And Alera just says keep going. We're kind of just gonna knock right through them with our speeder.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to assist you by just kind of standing up and just blasting at them, so that they don't shoot at us as we are just crashing.
They're
right
taking
through
cover.
Them.
Yeah, you're making them. You force them to take cover. Yeah, you're doing suppressing fire. Okay.
Yeah, and we're just gonna crash right through it and keep going.
Okay.
And just confuse everyone in the process. It's like they're fighting each other, and suddenly there's this transport that says, I don't know, it says something in Wookiee, but it's got like a Wookiee eating an ice cream cone. It's like a Wookiee ice cream branch store on the side of the transport, just to make things weirder. And that transport truck is just crashing through this war zone.
I like it. I love it. Yep.
So I'm gonna secure an advantage with edge to try to help you out. And oof, that's a weak hit. So what do you want? Do you want the momentum or the +1?
I need to get my momentum back up, I think.
All right.
So yeah, I'll take the momentum.
All right. So
Okay.
it's a weak hit, meaning it's a short-lived advantage, and they take a bit of cover, but I don't have the situation under control. So they're
too many of
about to
them.
just pop up. Yeah, there's too many of them. Some are still getting up and shooting at us.
So are we confronting
go ahead.
chaos, or are we exploring?
No.
waypoint?
This would be like outside the scope of the exploration moves. Like we're zooming in to just overcome an obstacle. So this would definitely be a face danger.
Yeah, got it. Okay, and I'm trying to do this with speed. So it's edge, I think, pretty clearly. I didn't take the +1, so I'm just doing another straight up edge roll, and let's see if I can roll well here. Oh, I have strong. Yeah,
strong hit. Take +1 momentum. You are successful. Yeah, we just crashed right through them. They jump to the side. The transport shaking as we continue down the road. And
yeah, they weren't expecting. We're coming from the wrong direction, right?
yeah, that's why.
I
love it.
Awesome. Okay, so we've just smashed through there. We take a steep turn, just as a couple of them take a couple of pot shots at us from behind, and we continue along our way. Okay. The next bit, I think the fighting is now clearly getting stronger because there are, more of them around, etc. So I think here we need to, maybe stay vigilant. I'm not sure. Or do you want to keep?
I think we keep moving at speed because we're in a truck moving through a war zone, and so I don't think there's much we can do other than just go as fast as we can.
I imagine there's like little side roads and alleys that we can kind of weave into, like just try and for me the moving at speed is here's where we are now. Here's where we need to be. Let's get as quickly as possible from A to B, straight line. The staying vigilant is there seems to be some fighting going up ahead. Let's take a side route, and it might take us a little bit longer, but let's try and avoid getting blown up. And keeping under the radar would be going really slow and kind of like But I think vigilant works in my head. So let's do that. I'm gonna roll that straight up. Weak hit.
All right.
Okay.
So we mark progress.
Yep. And then we gotta choose.
But once again, face a peril or suffer costs en route.
I've got one.
Right.
What if we suffer? There's two things being suffered. One is damage to the vehicle, and the other is damage to me as we hit something. I'm trying to steer around. Someone put like a blockade. Maybe there's a burning speeder blocking part of the road. I'm like, we can go around it. I think we can squeeze through here. But it's like I don't really drive.
I've got actually. I like that a lot.
So got another idea?
So no, I was just gonna say. So there's the concept in Powered by the Apocalypse games and so forth of a hard move versus a soft move, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you know the differences, but basically a hard move is this thing happens to you. Like you crash and you take the damage. A soft move is kind of like, okay, this thing is sort of happening, and you have the possibility to avoid it. So I was thinking in those lines, what if we're driving, we're trying to avoid most of it, but a burning speeder bike is headed straight for us out of the blue.
Yeah.
So you would have to like face danger to avoid, to steer clear out of it before this thing just crashes straight into the side of the truck.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. So face danger roll, and if we fail, the stakes are basically that it's going to take 1 damage, I'm going to take 1 damage. Yeah? Okay. And this is, again, going to be edge because it's speed, mobility, agility. I'm trying to like wrench the truck thing out of the way of this crashing speeder bike. So let's see how we do. It's a miss.
Ooh, that's a miss. All right, so yeah, it crashes into the side of the truck, banging up like one of the walls, and
Yep.
shaking us badly. So yeah, we could say that.
It goes down to 1 integrity. It's at someone's last legs.
Oof.
Right, because it
And
started
you-
at 3. It's taken one, went down to 2.
Yeah.
It's taken another one. Now it's down to 1. And I'm gonna take 1 health loss as well. You can kind of take cover in the back, like you brace yourself, but I'm like right in the front, and it's like we say, like we careen off the side of it. So yeah.
Yeah, like it crashes us on the driver's side. So
Yeah.
I don't take the most. I imagine that it bangs against the side with the door where you're driving. So that would be reasonable why you take most of the damage.
Yep. All right. And do we want to try and finish? We're on 6 progress on this track of getting through the war zone. I kind of like the idea of ending it here without making it too
certain.
Too certain. Yeah. How do you feel?
I like that. Yeah.
Right. Do you want to roll on it, or can you roll on my sheet?
Oh yeah, I can just click and make a progress roll.
Yeah, go
6
for it.
progress. Ba bada beam, bada boom, bada bam.
Wow. Strong hit with a match. 2 3s rolled. Amazing.
This is unfair. See, when I'm in your channel, I get all the great hits. When I'm playing in my channel, I get all the misses with the matches. And all right,
So we gotta
on
finish
a
next-
strong hit.
Was that a finished expedition roll, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we mark a reward. We each mark 1 extra tick on our discoveries. We're halfway through getting those sweet 2 experience points. And I'm gonna say that the strong hit with a match means that. I've got a good one. I've got a good one. I think we arrive at Mingo's, right? We go around, we get to the back, and someone opens the door
Yeah.
and says, "Are you the transport?"
Yeah.
And we kind of like look at each other like,
Yes, we are. Okay, so I'm gonna mark progress on the steal the back to for Celeste as well, because that's the second one along there. And I think what I would like to do here, because this could be with the match and going with the narrative we just talked about, is potentially trying to compel the person who's opened the door, to say to them, let's start, like, we'll help you load up, but the back is leaving as well, right? Just in case the Bacta wasn't being loaded, it's like we know that there's Bacta here. We've been told that the Bacta is really important to get off, and either that was what's going to be loaded anyway, or we're trying to say, like, no, it makes sense to get the Bacta out of here so that it doesn't get stolen. Yeah,
I like that. Yeah.
Would that be a compel roll?
Yeah, that would definitely be a compelled roll with Shadow.
Which is under connection moves, right? No.
Under adventure moves.
Adventure, there it is, yeah. Yeah, with Shadow. 1 Shadow. That's fine. Yeah. Let's give it a go, see what happens. Weak hit.
Weak hit. So they'll do what you want or agree to your condition, so you take +1 momentum. But their agreement comes with a demand or complication. Envision their counter offer.
I see it as being they basically say, yeah, that makes sense, but we'll do it last. This other stuff's more important. This is what Mingo's priority is, are the creatures, because they're worth more money, right? It's like prioritize the things that are worth more money, but the Bacta can absolutely come on board as well. That makes a lot of sense. So it's going to take time to load everything up, and we're kind of like, oh man, if we could have just done the Bacta first, then we could just peel off, right? And we're also thinking, I'm thinking at the back of my head, the actual person who's trying to like load up to take the stuff away could arrive at any minute. So, So we're kind of like, okay, they're letting us in. We're kind of saying like they're gonna let us load the Bacta, but at the same time, it's like time is really not on our side. There's like explosions happening like on the other side of the building. Where I imagine we're at the back of Mingo's, right? At like the loading bay, like in an alleyway. And I whisper to you as we hop down, like maybe we should take this guy out and just take the Bacta. Otherwise, we're gonna be here too long.
I definitely I agree. Like Alera kind of like nods at Drago. But here's a question: is this guy alone in the storage room? That would be a great Oracle question.
That's a great Oracle question. Why don't you roll it?
All right, I'll roll it.
I think it's not going to be 50-50. I think it's not very likely that this person's alone.
No.
If they're trying to load stuff, I imagine there's probably another one or two in here.
Yeah, imagine there's people that work at Mingo's Organics that are already ready to load everything. They're just waiting for the transport. So I'm gonna say it's unlikely that he's alone. Mm-hmm. And that is no, he is not alone. There are other people. There are other aliens ready. Like the doors open, they kind of like round the doors, clap, unclip the things, and there are people already coming out with crates and loading them onto our truck.
And so I just whisper that to you as they all of a sudden it opens up and these people start going like, never mind. There's also security. There has to be some security here too. Yes. I imagine there's at least one big security droid, and there's probably some grizzled, alien person that looks very menacing, with some sort of like weapon. Also just kind of keeping an eye on things. Maybe they're not actually helping to transport stuff. They're there to make sure in case the gang turns up. In fact, maybe they step out into the alleyway and each of them looks one way and the other one looks the other way to say like just to check in case any violence starts coming towards them, they can kind of try and keep it back. That would make sense. Because we're expected.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe there's something else I can do. Maybe there's another compel, but maybe I can say to them there's a lot of weird transports kind of flitting around. If any of them come over here, some of them were like loaded with explosives. Like don't take any chances. Like if anything comes over here, shoot it. Yeah, so in case the driver does come, he's gonna instantly be like met with fire from these. I mean, sorry, legitimate person who's just trying to do his job.
We are awful. We are like. Oh my god!
I think I'm going to compel again here. I'm
not sure. I'm trying to think if this is a compel.
Because I'm lying. I'm trying to get them. Yeah, go on.
I agree with that, but we're not trying to persuade them to do something like specific. So I think maybe this might be a secured advantage because, like, in the situation that this other truck arrives, we're trying to get these people on our side.
All right.
Sure. So I think this would be more a secured advantage.
Yeah,
we're trying to gain leverage. It says we're trying to assess the situation, make preparations, or attempt to gain leverage.
Perfect. And that also says with deception, stealth, or trickery, roll shadow, which is absolutely what I'm doing. So perfect. Let's do that. No ads or anything like that. So just straight up shadow roll.
Nice.
I could burn to make it a strong hit, but I think weak hit. I'll go with the weak hit. That's fine.
Yeah. Just take the momentum.
I will take the momentum. I think that makes a lot of sense because I'm up to 8 now. Okay.
All right. So you definitely convince these security guards that they're not 100%, but the situation.
Yeah. They're like
definitely yeah. And I imagine it's at this point. I don't know how we are on time.
We're only like 19 minutes in, so we've got time.
Okay. Yeah. So I imagine at this point that there is very much another transport approaching in the distance as we are halfway through loading this thing.
Yeah, I like it.
And that might be our cue to be like, I think Alera might even yell out something. It's like, oh, hey, look, it's those bastards that were following us.
Yeah. Shoot him! And I'll say, and I'll shut up after you said that. Shoot him! I imagine that somebody might recognize them if this is like a usual delivery. In fact, somebody might have even mentioned like, who are these guys?
Yeah.
And we're like, and then we pretend not to hear, and the other person's like, no, it's cool. They're the delivery person. And if anybody asks us like, so who are you? We're like, we're filling in. Like it's absolute chaos out there. We're doing this as a favor. It's fine. Let's get it going. Yeah.
I'm gonna say that while this I don't imagine they immediately start shooting them, but there is this confusion and standoff, right? And as this is happening, Alera will try to go into the storage and take the Bacta. As I nudge you, like keep them distracted, and I'm gonna, go in and.
I like it. So here's how I see it: like the truck, this other transport comes around the corner, little ways off, starts coming toward us. I'm like, and you're like, it's them, it's those bastards, and I'm like, shoot them! But they kind of like. Maybe the security guard checking that road like lifts his rifle and points it at them, and they see this happening and they stop, and maybe they open. This is a much nicer transport than ours. They open their side door to be like, "What's going on?" And then I'm like, I put my blaster and I shoot at the driver to try and prompt things to go a bit, like not just to be a standoff. I'm behind the security guard, so the security guard can't see what's happening, but I'm taking a shot. I'm not trying to like kill the driver or anything, but I'm just like shooting at their truck.
I like it.
So trying to just add to the chaos and prompt something here. I don't know. So what's the plan with this? I mean, could we make some sort of a roll to see how well this goes? With is it face danger? Is it?
If you want, we can keep your action as narrative, or it can be an aid and ally towards me.
Let's do that.
Trying to generate this chaos. So go ahead and roll with. This is definitely stealth. This is definitely shadow. You're.
Oh yeah, I'm just. This is deception and trickery for sure. And that's I have to either do secure an advantage or gain ground for you. So I guess it's
yes. This is secure an advantage.
Yeah. Okay.
Because gain ground is when we're in the combat mechanics.
Okay. And a rolling shadow. I've got 8 momentum if I need to burn it, and I might be doing that. Look at that.
But not needed. Oh,
so
well, actually, I'll just take +2 momentum. I'd say let's keep that momentum going for like a more important moment. So I'm gonna go ahead and
facing danger.
I'm just gonna take the +1. Actually, I'm gonna take the +1. So I imagine the weak hit means that you generate a moment of chaos, but like you fire a blaster, the other people kind of like take cover, the people that were moving the crates, the other person's yelling. I imagine one of the security guards, they don't start firing, but I imagine they're like, whoa. They like maybe they trying to calm you down, but you have generated a situation.
I've stopped them from coming closer, and I've distracted them enough for you to do your thing.
So I'm going to try to, while this is happening, sneak back into the storage room and grab, what would it be, a crate, a barrel of Bacta?
It's more, I'm imagining it more like a barrel.
All right, like one of those metallic barrels.
Yeah, like a really big keg, kind of.
Right, so that's what I'm going to try to do, and this is definitely with Shadow, and I have a +1.
What's the move you're making?
I'm going to face danger.
Okay.
Because I'm attempting something risky.
Yep.
So here goes. Oh,
a strong hit. Nice.
Very nice. Take +1 momentum. See, that's why I didn't take the momentum, because I knew it was going to get that +1 momentum. And it's all about min-maxing. Starforged is all about min-maxing.
Well, if you hadn't taken the +1, you would have had a 6, and the other dice rolled was a 6, so you would have had a weak hit on this one instead. But you're successful. You managed to get it out. Nobody notices as you lug the Bacta and put it onto the back of the truck. I'm watching for you to do it as well. And so after it's there, I kind of disappear back onto the truck.
That's what I was going to ask you. Can you get out of that situation without much issue? So I imagine I load the Bacta onto the truck. I get it in there. Actually, you know what I do? I don't load it into the truck. I put it into the passenger seat. Okay. So like I get up inside, because otherwise everyone would see me walking in the back and sliding it in and closing doors. So I get in, I open the door, I get in, I put this big barrel onto the passenger seat, and I kind of signal you to climb in through the back. I'm gonna start the truck, and you're gonna have to do like a face danger with Edge to just run in and get in as we get the hell out of there with the doors open, and maybe stuff falling off that they just loaded into the truck.
But I imagine there's all sorts of like there's like live creatures that are in these like crates, so they fall off.
Oh my God.
They might actually break open, and there might be some sort of like aggressive creature that's been effectively like in hell for a very long time in this place, and is just like goes completely berserk around these people. That could be really cool.
I love that.
In fact, that might even be something I do. Is as I run and jump on, I throw something off the back to try and like I look for what's an actual animal and like open the door and like throw it off.
I think we could separate that into a series of different moves and see how it goes. Yeah. Let's go ahead first with face danger Edge,
which is me as you crank as you start the ignition, however it works with these things.
Yes.
And you go like start racing off, and I'm just running and jumping onto the back. So
I love it.
As
gunfire is like choo, 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 choo.
Hey, what are you doing? Oh no. It's a weak hit.
Awesome. Weak hit. So I think maybe you take a hit.
Yeah, make a suffer move. I take -1. I definitely am going to lose health. That makes sense. They're shooting at me. I managed to run onto the back, jump onto the back, so I succeed. And in the process, I take a bit of damage myself. So I'm down to 2 health. That's fine. I like that. All right.
So we could finish this here, or we could say that now they're chasing us somehow. Do they have another vehicle waiting for them there?
Well, there's the other vehicle that was coming, right?
All right. So
they realize that we're stealing.
They overpower the other driver. They get him out, and they get onto the other truck, and now they're chasing us with the truck. And I guess this would be the moment. Like I was thinking, you could secure an advantage by knocking some of these creatures here onto them, and I think this is a perfect moment to generate some weird alien creatures, and we have all the oracles ready to do that.
Okay.
So first, the scale of the creature, because it could be many tiny ones.
It's gonna be smallish. I imagine like the size of between the size of a cat and a large dog, something in those in that range.
I'm just gonna roll because I love rolling. It's dog-sized.
Perfect.
Its basic form. First, we need to decide if it's from space, interior, land, liquid, or air. Oh, we can roll for that. We can roll for its environment. Is a liquid, so it's inside some kind of water thing or. Oh. I'm thinking. Oops.
Yeah.
Or air. Are you thinking with liquid creatures? Should we stick?
Liquid might be harder. Let's stick with air. Let's go with air.
All right. So air. It's normally an air flying creature, perhaps. Yeah. Let's go ahead and see its main form. Roll twice. Oh, okay. All right. Let's roll twice then. It's a symmetrical, flat-bodied creature.
So I imagine
it's some kind of floating starfish alien thing.
Yeah, I think it's landed on ray. I'm imagining like a flying ray in a symmetric, like it's kind of like it's got a star shape to it. Like it's got a head pointing at the front, and it's got two like wings on the sides that make it into a sort of a star shape with the long tail.
It's got compound eyes.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Nice. Kind of gross.
Yeah.
And it's mineral or metallic in nature.
Okay. It's a bit weird for eating. Maybe its eyes are a delicacy.
Oh my god. Its encountered behavior is that of a mimic. So
can we re-roll on that?
Yeah. Roll twice? No, let's re-roll on that. It's a tracker. Oh, okay. Interesting.
I like that. Well, I mean, we don't know this, by the way. This is just what we're on.
No. Its revealed aspect is replication.
Okay. I'm coming up with something.
And metamorphic.
Okay, so it can change its shape. What I'm thinking is the replication element is it's with having maybe like a metallic body, like it's like silicon based life form maybe. And if it latches onto something metallic, it can replicate itself by like stripping the metal out of whatever it's touching. So it can kind of like self-replicate, and then it can also change its shape if it wants to. Why not? So yeah, this is kind of a weird creature. I'm not sure what they're using it for food in Mingo's Organics. Maybe they take some of its metallic scales or something, or I don't know.
I was gonna say, maybe this is gonna sound horrible, but maybe they grate it for some kind of like spice, or like you said, the scales are for flavoring or that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I mean, salt is pretty coarse too, and other
sure.
stuff like that.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're about to release a wild species that might become a plague upon the underbelly.
Because it can replicate by... There's a lot of metal down here.
We are just the worst. No wonder people hate us. I mean, I can understand it now.
Let's call it a star ray. Yeah. So I basically open the door and shake, like flick, as I'm flicking the thing as well, and this thing just like unfolds out of it with its wings and starts like just starts floating in place with the momentum as we're speeding away, as the other truck kind of like comes into it. Well, we'll see. This is a secure advantage, right? Do we say?
Yes. So this would be with this is a difficult one. Yeah, I think it's either Shadow or Wits.
I'm thinking Heart even. Resolve. No, Heart's a bit different.
Yeah.
Or Focus, Expertise, Observation. I guess it's more Wits because I'm waiting for the right opportunity. Like, it has to be at the right opportunity when they're right behind us, and I'm like throwing whatever's in here onto their pursuing vehicle. So I'm gonna go with that. So I'm rolling Wits, not because Wits is my highest thing. No, not at all.
That's a weak hit, so I'm gonna take the +1 to my next move.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that what I imagine is, it works, but I imagine it latches on momentarily as it kind of like latches onto the windshield, but because of the speeds that we're going at, it kind of like just drifts off, and now the transport behind us is missing like a chunk.
What if there's a guy hanging out just about to take a shot, which is why I waited for it, and it just latches on, and the guy shoots it, and it kind of lets go. It's not dead or anything, but he shot it off. Yeah,
I like that. Yeah, but
because now we've got a guy with a gun hanging out of the car as well, which I also seems applicable.
Definitely.
You've got a +1 now, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna face danger with Edge to try to drive out of here, and hopefully this is the last roll we make as we get out of this with the Bacta. And I've got the Bacta with the seatbelt, by the way. We definitely don't want anything to happen to that.
All right. I think maybe we're coming up to the edge of the hub, and we're trying to get into Slime Alley. So this is where the agility comes into play, because there's a lot more like. The landscape is changing. Slime Alley is much narrower, like alleyways and stuff, and the roads are like much more narrow. So this is where we're kind of like weaving, and maybe we can get them to crash into something, I think. So good luck.
So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead with that. I'm gonna roll with Edge and add a +1 to that. And that's a weak hit, and this is perfect because I believe that this would be our last integrity on the vehicle. I think that's perfect.
I think so. I thought the same thing. Yeah.
So we managed to weave our way out of there. They crash against some crates or something, or get lost amidst the conflict that's going on, and we just get into Slime Valley and Slime Valley. What was it called? Slime
Alley.
Slime Alley. I don't know why I said Slime Valley. It sounds worse.
It does.
We get into Slime Alley, and we just crash against a dumpster or something.
Yeah.
And it's just like steam coming off the front of the vehicle. and the little ice cream song starts to play with like a distorted you know, and we're just the worst. We're just the worst.
But we've done it. Well, sort of. We gotta make the vow, make the roll for the stealing the Bacta. Do we mark progress then for this?
We definitely mark progress.
Yeah.
That was a lot of stuff that we were able to do.
We're gonna leave everything on the back of this. Maybe I'll grab one crate. You grab the Bacta, the barrel of Bacta, to like leg it there, and maybe I grab something else because we can maybe sell it for something. It could be useful. But let's make this
definitely.
Let's make this progress roll.
Nice.
Okay, strong hit.
That's
so
another
that was
mark.
Another mark on saving his life, right?
Yeah, and we mark progress on our quest legacy track, so that's another tick.
All right.
Essentially halfway there to get those 2 experience points.
I'm going to leave this one actually there and just take it off the front. Okay, so we're going to probably end the session there because we're 36 minutes in on the recorded mark. And this is a good place to stop it. We've returned to Slime Alley with the Bacta that we've stolen from Mingo's. And potentially, I mean, they've seen us. So again, potentially making enemies in the underbelly here.
Just everyone.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we didn't swear a vow to return that truck. That's it.
I mean, you wanted to, but it's I don't think the Wookiee's going to want it back at this stage. So that's where we're going to leave it. Thanks very much for watching. As always, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe and like button as it helps the channel to grow. And if you haven't checked out Sophia's channel, Iron Home, there's a link in the description below where you can check it out. But that's us. We'll catch you in 2 weeks for probably the final episode in this series. So yeah, join us then and catch you in 2 weeks' time.